going on?
I can't believe I completely forgot to bleed the brakes in the 401. So I was pulling it front and I was thinking about taxiing and everything I was gonna have to check while we're taxiing, and it literally has no brakes right now. Let's get out, let's get the brakes bled, and let's check the brakes, and then let's pull it out. All right, guys, we're back here in the hangar for day 4, or is it 5, of working on the 401. We need to get this thing out and taxi it under its own power for the first time in 17 years. However, last episode, I got way too excited. Everything's all torqued, everything's lined up, everything's powdered up, everything's lubed up, everything's greased up. So excited that I took all the airplanes out of the hangar, I hooked Tug up, and I completely forgot to fix the brakes. We would have no brakes. So it may have moved under its own power, but it wouldn't have stopped on its own, which is something we definitely don't want to do. So today we're gonna get in here, we're going to check out the whole brake system, we're gonna get the brakes fixed. I have a little bit of history to share about the 401 as well that I think you guys are gonna find interesting. Welcome back to Rebuild Rescue. So I know a whole bunch of you have been really concerned about the 401 project because it's been like 6 weeks since I've done anything to it. But I've been injured, it's been really tough. I can't walk yet. I have a titanium plate and 8 screws, going through my bone, holding it together. Saw the doctor. The doctor said it's been healing up really fast. And he said that I can actually put, I think he said 50% of my weight on it now. So I'm feeling a little bit better. It swells up a little bit less. It means I can do a little bit more. So it's gonna get us closer and closer to getting this done. And this thing's gonna get flying a little bit quicker. So thank you guys for being patient. Thank you guys also for getting on the comments. And even thank you guys for kind of giving me heck about not getting the work done on it. Now, I couldn't get work done on it, but it shows me how much you guys care about this project. It shows me how much you guys care about the channel, and that makes me happy. I thank you guys for being invested. Thank you guys for your comments. Let's get this thing fixed. So something that's a little bit different as far as servicing these brakes on an airplane. Usually, if you guys are used to working on a car, you add fluid, you pressurize it, and you turn the relief valve to get air out of it from the master cylinder down. On an airplane, you can do that, but it just seems so much easier to actually pressurize it from the caliper, push the air up and out of the reservoir up in the brakes in the master cylinder. So that's how we're gonna be doing it today. I'm really hoping that these brakes aren't locked up from being just not used in so long. So we got this brake bleeder set up, all filled up and ready to go, and then I realized that I bought the wrong one. So we did end up modifying this one. So instead of a suction bleeder, we're gonna rotate this one upside down. We modified it. Now it's a pressurized bleeder like we need for the 401. Hey Sam, what's going on?
Not much. What's happening with the brakes?
Well, you're actually here just in time to help me bleed the brakes on the 401.
You're sitting inside a closed hangar. Do you know how beautiful it is outside?
I have not been outside all day.
I'm going flying. I'm going down to the shore. It's crab cake day, man.
You want to go get some crab cakes?
I'd be down for some crab cakes.
Let's go get some crab cakes. This is how you get an airplane when you can't use your leg.
Chester County Traffic Cougar 769, Bill Butler. Be at level down to departure. It's actually departure itself.
Got the Canuck getting ready to take off. This is where I roll down off of the airplane onto the ramp. All right, guys, so we're back here in the hangar after taking a little bit of a longer lunch break, but it's so amazing just to be able to hop in an airplane and, fly and get lunch. We went and had some really good crab cakes right by the bay, and a few minutes later, we're back in the hangar. So we're gonna get these brakes bled, and hopefully they hold pressure so we can pull out the 401 and taxi it around. All right, so let's pressurize this. We'll get the air out of it. All right, we'll get that hooked up. All right, so if you could actually go inside the cockpit and watch the master cylinder, as I pressurize this, fluid should start coming up and out of the master cylinder. So actually air should come up out of the master cylinder first, and then some fluid should come up in there, letting us know that we got all the air out of the brake system. So it's always good to have your pressure tank cap tight before you add pressure to it. So otherwise you end up with hydraulic brake fluid in your shoe. All right, do you want to go in there and just see if anything is happening there? Anything happening?
Yeah, it's dripping out.
So it came all the way up and it's coming out?
Yeah.
Dripping out or like running out?
Oh, it's running out now.
Go ahead and hold her down. Let her go. Is there a cap on the floor there?
Yeah, you want the yellow or the black one?
Put the yellow one in.
Okay.
One of the things that's really cool about working on a project is when you do something to it and you don't expect it to work and it works. So we pressurized the brake system, we backfed some of the air out of it, and the brakes are working. Literally didn't have to rebuild the master cylinder, and the brakes are working after this airplane sat for 17 years. This 401, it keeps surprising me. Every time I look at something, I think it's going to be worse than what it is. The corrosion, the engines, everything. Really, it keeps surprising me. This airplane really wants to be up in the air. Like, she wants to go. I'm just floored. I'm floored and excited. Now, knock on some wood, because I haven't tried the right brake yet. So maybe I ought to wait to say this until after we get that one done. But left main brake is good. It has pedal pressure. All the air came right out. I'm feeling really good about today. So before we start working on that right side brake system, I wanted to talk a little bit about something I mentioned a few episodes ago. It turns out the 401 has some pretty cool history. The 401 was actually originally purchased by the DuPont family. If you guys don't know who the DuPont family is, let me show you. Back on March 5th, 1969, the Cessna 401A that we know as the Phoenix was originally purchased by Alaire DuPont of the DuPont family. The DuPont family is a prominent American family and one of the richest families in the United States since the mid-19th century. Alaire DuPont and her husband were both glider and powered aircraft pilots. She set a national endurance record for women gliders in 1935. In the earlier days of flying, when it was still a novelty, doing stunts was popular, and she once flew her plane under the Chesapeake City Bridge. And now you know the beginning of the 401 story. And you guys are also part of not only its history now, but also its future. So let's get these brakes done. All right, so we got the left main brake done. Let's see if we have the same amount of luck doing this right one. Get this loosened up a little bit so it's easy to turn. All right, if you want to go in there and let's take a look at the right master cylinder, and let's see if we can't get the air backed out of it and get it filled up. Go ahead and give the pedal a gentle push. All right, pump it.
Oh wait, I think I'm starting to see some. Give it a little more.
Go ahead, keep pumping it slow. All right, keep your eye out. Pressurizing.
Oh, it's coming out.
All right. That was surprising.
Do you want me to put the cap on it?
Just wait a second. How's the pedal?
Dude, it feels great.
Other than a really big mess here, as we pressurized everything, it had too much pressure then when everything was backfed and bled right. So I pulled the line off to tighten the nipple, and it made a big mess. But this right brake bled just like the left one did, and it's just about ready to go outside and fire up. All right, Sam, so here we are outside the hangar with 81 Alpha Delta after, is it 17 years? I keep saying to all the viewers, 17 years, it's something.
2009, so
2009, whatever the math is, 2009. Right. A long time ago, so it's been a long time ago that that moved to understone power. It hasn't done it yet. I think today's the day.
We're gonna try it.
If that right engine starts.
Right, yes.
Because it's still questionable.
Big if.
So there may or may not be a reason why I was so dead set in this airplane running under its own power, and that I was so upset that my leg got hurt. And I'm gonna share that reason with you guys a little bit later on. as long as this thing does go under its own power. If it doesn't, I may not say anything at all. So, but the guys are here. They're going to put some fuel in the 401, and we're going to get it started up, and we're going to taxi this thing. So we're going to high-speed taxi this thing. Let's go. So one of the things that you always have to worry about before using an airplane is make sure that you pre-flight it, check it over, and even before you pre-taxi, apparently, because I didn't check the oil. Sam did check the oil, and we actually found that this right engine was full of gas, like almost to the top. We didn't turn the fuel switches off when we were done running it last time. So we think what happened is because the main tanks are higher than this engine, it was slowly leaking into the engine, right down past the rings, right into the bottom end. So if we would have fired this up without checking the oil, we wouldn't have noticed that. It absolutely would have hydraulicked, and we would have had a bunch of pieces. Sam's the winner today of the good aviator and pilot following procedure. I didn't. Now we're getting some oil in this. We're gonna get it started, and we're gonna hit the runway. Sam and I are ready to go, and we asked Greg, who is an AP from the airport here, to come along because we definitely need as many eyes and ears on this project as possible and on taxiing. So are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
You ready to go, Sam?
Sure.
All right, let's go.
Clear prop. Hold up.
Well, the radios are working.
Okay, test. I'm not on.
Not plugged in.
Yeah, how about now?
There we go. I got you. Radios are working.
All right.
All right, she fired up. All right, that right engine fired right up. She's shutting off though. All right, guys. Are you guys ready to taxi for the first time in the 401 for 17 years now?
Yeah.
All right. All right, now the right one's shut off. It's got to be on high. She is absolutely correct.
Keeping to find cats. That's why I'm a dog person.
Some people's cats are a little bigger than others, with a little bit more of a growl. We'll wait till we get down here.
Just catty traffic. Twin Cessna 81 Alpha Delta, high speed taxi 11 to the intersection. 11, Cessna County.
To a complete stop. High speed stop.
Everything in the green?
Everything's in the green. We got oil pressure. We have Fire, fire, fire.